Hello. Hello, this is the My Artifact episode number 3556. Today's date is August 26, 2025. It's been almost like a morning at 8:11 a.m. Alright, let's just directly jump into the question. Alright, yeah, let's go. Okay, question is, if I suddenly became wealthy, am I afraid of what? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, yeah. What exactly is this question? Okay. Okay, so this is a kind of like a simply question is about kind of like a simply money, the relationship about the how is exactly your relationship with money. Okay, yeah. And it the multiple question is kind of like a tell me the scenario that if this thing happened, what would you do? This thing happened, what would you do? And stuff like that. Why are you asking about this question? I think that I need to fully aware of that what is exactly money and how can money can solve the problem, not only yours problem but other problems too. Okay, other people problems too. Okay. Um. So I have to be understand regarding about every possible perspective and in the future I wanted to take a really wise decision regarding about money. Okay, yeah, so that's how I'm actually asking this question to understand myself that what is actually my opinion and how would I supposed to be improve that. Okay, all right. So if I am kind of like earning so much amount of money in so little amount of time, okay, then am I afraid of what? Like basically you are have so much amount of money, do you afraid, do you kind of like afraid of what? Like will you afraid or not? Will you kind of like scared or not? It depends on how you earn that particular amount of money. Okay, yeah. If you are kind of like earning that so much amount of money by the lottery, then probably is this thing that you are not really aware of that how do you supposed to be handle that much amount of money. Okay, yeah. Let's just imagine that you win the lottery ticket of $1 million. Okay, yeah. $1 million is a really big amount of money. Okay, yeah. But you earn $1 million. Okay, yeah. But when you earn $1 million, you realize that you don't really get $1 million. You get almost like a maybe like a $0.7 million, like a $0.3 million are went to taxes and things like that. And basically is this thing, these are taxes are kind of like a has to be happened. Okay, yeah. It's not really that someone is actually cutting down to you, so you have to be understand you have to pay the taxes. The larger amount of money, like if the money is too much, then tax is also too much. Okay, so this is should supposed to be understand. Okay, yeah. So you have to pay the taxes, one thing. Another thing is that the people who are kind of like earning money from lottery ticket, probably those people are not really aware of handling the money. That's why they are kind of like a buy the lottery ticket, right? Yeah, because lottery ticket they might think that they will become rich, but the problem is that he became a rich and being a rich is a two different thing. When you became a rich, you have only kind of like a somebody you have kind of like a somebody you have to learn that how do you being rich, how do you kind of like a something let let me kind of like a rich for longer period of time. Oh yeah, because let me tell you one thing, if you became rich and you sudden fall down too, why sudden fall down is because of that you don't know what should you supposed to do with that money. So basically this is what you do is that when you have $1 million, you might gonna spend that much amount of money on buying car or houses or things or that make you feel something really good and things like that. But these are liability means like that these are kind of like a somebody meant to be kind of like a take money from you and it will not kind of like a earning you money, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. So make sure that you have to be invest whatever the money that you are earn or whatever the money that you win in lottery ticket, invest in mutual fund, FD, SIP, stocks, bond. Okay, these are kind of like a simply the assets. Like when you buy those assets, it kind of like a simply money can grow in itself. Okay, so you don't really have to be worry about anything at all. Yeah, like first thing you have to understand that. Another thing is that ki not only it change financially, but it change everything. Like when you have sudden amount of money in so less amount of time, like let's just say lottery ticket. Okay, yeah, the perspective of the people looking at you became very differently. Oh yeah, like you might be kind of like a something respected multiple times. Another thing is that ki, people are kind of like a something ask you for money for this and that. Your like your people around you trustworthy or kind of like a things because you have so much amount of money, so you actually give in to them and things like that. And when this thing happened, like example, okay, yeah, that ki you win the lottery ticket, let's just say $1 million. Okay, you haven't really seen $1 million in your entire period of lifetime. Obviously in your surrounding they also never really seen the $1 million. What exactly is this the value of that? Okay, yeah, so you spend money on cars and kind of like a simply houses and things like that. Then your friend is actually came that he also wanted to buy the house, and he wants some sort of amount of money, and basically you actually gave them some sort of amount of money, but he never really bought that house. He kind of like simply plays some sort of gamble or things or that or that. Okay, yeah, who knows, because he was not really serious about your money, because you never really earn that much amount of money by hard earn. No, you actually earn money by luckily, because lottery ticket na. Okay, yeah, so they don't really kind of like a take care of your money that much, and they just kind of like a somebody play the gamble and that's it. And when you ask money for money back, they will kind of like a refuse you, or they will kind of like a something that key, I don't know. Then you can use multiple ways to kind of like a somebody get back your money, but in the end this is kind of like a somebody create hassle. Okay, you are kind of like a somebody regret that why did I give that money at first place. So basically is this thing, the perspective is also changed. Okay, the people looking at you became something also changed too. Okay, yeah. Another thing is that when this thing happened, okay, yeah, the you found that ki you have kind of like simply very less people are exist so that you could trust. Very less people, like basically every close people is kind of like a somebody attract because of you have a lot of amount of money, as well as the new people will came in your life, they also kind of like attracted because of the money that you have. So this is what something is actually happened, dude. Okay, yeah, so probably is this thing na ki, like then what exactly is this thing that if I have so much amount of money, then probably what would I do? What should I supposed to do? Should I invest on this thing or that? Yeah, you have to be invest this thing, invest in kind of like a assembly, FD, SIP, mutual funds. Okay, yeah, stock market, bonds, investment properties, lot of things. Okay, yeah. um Another thing is that he obviously don't kind of like a tell people that you have so much amount of money, so that the people perspective might not change. Okay, yeah, so what exactly is this thing? Like there is a wise man says that ki if you are earning, all right, all right, so where was I? Sorry, I was kind of like simply disturbed. Okay, um yeah, I'm actually talking about that ki if you are earn so much amount of money, how do you afraid or not? I already mentioned couple of pointers regarding about why do you afraid and things and situation and something like that. Okay, so if I earn so much amount of money, then what would I supposed to do? Okay, yeah. First of all is that ki, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it also depend upon perspective. Okay, yeah, that ki who you are. All right. um Obviously if you are earn so much amount of money by lottery ticket, that means your thought process might be very different. Okay, yeah, you don't really have any awareness regarding about financial thing, and probably you you are really impulsive regarding about money because this is the first time you actually seen that much amount of money. Okay, so basically is this thing, what should you supposed to do is that key, hire any kind of like a simply professional financial advisor or a lawyer. Okay, those people are kind of like a simply help you to understand what is exactly uh, what how does that money like the money that you have, how that money will grow in the future. Okay, yeah, so talk to those people. Okay, yeah, they will kind of like a give you very proper advice. Even if I'm kind of like a say this thing, invest in mutual bond and things and that, obviously if you are buying the lucky like a lucky draw, like a lucky draw coupon, things like that, you definitely don't really understand what is actually the investment and things like that. So the best thing is that ki hire a kind of like a something accountant or professional financial advisor. He'll actually give you advice regarding about where should you money should supposed to be invested and things and that. Okay, yeah, first thing. Another thing is that ki do not brag about how much money that you earn or how much lucky draw or how much things and that, because it's a kind of like a simply human habit that when something happens, something really good with us, we are kind of like a started bragging. And this is what kind of like a something like that ki human psychology. Okay, yeah, because we are social animal and our validation came from the people. Okay, yeah, so this is what it is. So but try to control that. Okay, yeah, um try not to mention that ki you are earn this much amount of money from the lottery ticket. No, do not tell probably is this thing if the only closest person might be, but probably is this thing na ki one thing is that ki, as I mentioned, the perspective, if you are buying the lottery ticket and if you are earning money from the lottery ticket. Okay, yeah, like if you are earn so much amount of money from the lottery ticket, that means you might be very different person. Okay, yeah, because you don't really know about the investment, your relationship is not really good. Like basically is this thing not who are those people will gonna buy lottery ticket? Obviously such a people who are kind of like a somebody think that ki they can't do in their life and everything is happened by the luckily, and they wanted to kind of like a somebody wanted to test their luck, and that's why they bought this thing. Okay, yeah, a smart people never really buy lottery ticket because he understand that if he wanted to earn money, he have to earn money by his skills, talents and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, so if you are earning money from the lottery ticket, that means you are belong to the such a people who are like a always thinks that ki luck is always be a matter, and that is completely false statement. Luck is not always matter. Might be you are lucky things and that, but growth comes from the effort, not from luck. Okay, so you might be lucky to get the lottery ticket and things like that, but your growth depends on how much do you spend that money on what. Okay, yeah, so if you are kind of like a that kind of like a somebody person who believes that ki luck is a really essential factor, and because of the luck you can grow and things like that, you are attracting such a people around you which is also kind of like a have similar thought process. Okay, yeah, so maybe your wife or your kind of like a things are they are always kind of like a things that ki, yes, luck is kind of like a something matter or things or that. Okay, yeah, so if you are tell your wife regarding about you earn this much amount of money and this much amount of money, then she also might feel something like that ki grateful. Okay, yeah, or she also don't know that ki what should supposed to be do with that money. Okay, it's not about the question about trust, it's about the intelligence. Okay, yeah, because the scenario is actually from the person who actually buy the lottery ticket. Okay, yeah, like understand now the who is actually person who buy the lottery ticket. Okay, so basically is this thing, the person who buy the lottery ticket, he doesn't really have really good financial education. He doesn't really educate that much. He always thinks that ki luck is really essential factor, and obviously he attracts such a people who are considered that ki effort is not like effort is kind of like a something like nothing really at all. In the end, the growth is actually depend by luck and things like that. You attract such kind of like people, and in that particular people, your wife is also included too. Okay, yeah. So probably this is something very different. Okay, yeah, because she also kind of like a something things that ki yeah, like my husband is actually earn this much amount of money, so she might also spend money on something like makeup and things and that. Okay, yeah. So probably my guess okay, my guess, or kind of like sorry, my advice, but I'm not really sure. I might be kind of like a completely wrong, because I think that na ki like your partner would be kind of like a somebody very different person too. Okay, might be I'm completely wrong. Might be your partner would be really helpful to you, and she is kind of like a telling you what should you supposed to do with that money or not. Okay, yeah. So this is also kind of like a somebody possibility too, and probably I am actually judging too much, but I don't know. Okay, I'm not really sure what is actually the probability is this thing. Okay, yeah. What should you supposed to do is that ki if you are, but still not the kind of like a same thing happened with the kind of like a person who buy the lottery ticket. Okay, yeah. It's not about the person who win the lottery ticket. Is because it's because of the person who buy the lottery ticket. Okay, yeah. So basically, the person who buy the lottery ticket, I could imagine a very horrible scenario regarding about his personal and professional life. Okay, yeah. Like basically, I'm actually imagine that the person who buy the lottery ticket, this person might be kind of like a somebody construction worker or any kind of like a somebody worker who is kind of like a doing just payday job. Okay, yeah. His relationship with his wife is also kind of like a something not good, because his wife is also kind of like a doing a job as a payday job or things like that. He is not actually come from the higher society. He is also kind of like a somebody lower middle class point of society and things like that. His thought process and surrounding people is also kind of like a somebody similar thought process and things like that. So basically, I am not actually asking the question regarding about how that how this person should supposed to be spend this money on that. I'm actually kind of like a thinking about who is that particular person, because that particular person has a very different mentality regarding about money. Okay, yeah. So probably I'm not gonna give any advice, but I'm kind of like a predicting something that my probability is that ki almost like a 70 to 80% of the people who actually win the lottery money, okay, they actually spend money on something on liability like a car, bike, home, or kind of like a things that make them feel little bit of good, and they are kind of like a spend all those money over there. They might gonna do little bit of investment, but probably those investment are kind of like a simply very little less, so probably they will get return very little less too. So yeah, and basically is this thing that ki those people are kind of like a something. Yeah, I'm just understanding na, like I don't know, is this thing like can you imagine who is actually person who buy the lottery ticket? Yeah, like do you actually imagine the scenario? Okay, who is that particular person? That's it. When you imagine that particular person, you just understand what will gonna happen if you are actually give them $1 million with these things and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. So these actually happened regarding about kind of like a person who just win the lottery ticket. Okay, yeah. What if like I'm gonna say that ki you are actually earn $1 million by your hard earned effort and things like that. So do you afraid of anything or what? Like let's just imagine you. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing that ki if I earn so much amount of money in so little less amount of time, okay, yeah. So will I be afraid or not? I will not afraid of anything at all at that moment. Why? Because of that ki I'm pretty sure I understand what is actually money and what is actually is this thing. Okay, yeah. And basically if I earn $1 million in $1 million through my work and things like that, what would I supposed to do? Obviously I would kind of like invest that much amount of money on building my startup or building my startup or kind of like investment or things like that, so that kind of like assembly it will grow my future even more better. Okay, yeah. So this is what would I supposed to do. Regarding about the personal, do I have any kind of like a only personal thing that ki, like if you earn so much amount of money, then the people perspective might be very different. Yeah, this might be definitely gonna happen. Okay, yeah, but kind of like a things that na ki they would not take any advantage. Okay, might be they will take the advantage, but probably is this thing na ki they will not, because the money that I am actually earning is because of the effort and hard earned money and things like that. Okay, it's not kind of like somebody comes from the luck and things like that. Okay, and as also at my surrounding there is no one is actually has that kind of like a somebody person has a mentality to kind of like a somebody de-trust and things like that. Okay, yeah. So if someone is actually asking me some sort of amount of money, I would kind of like a something like a, I'm not, I will gonna give them money, but not entire amount of money. Okay, yeah. And also kind of like a somebody tell them that, dude, like yes, I have a lot of amount of money too, but also I have a lot of amount of expenses too. Okay, yeah, because I'm running the startup and things and that. Okay, so I might not gonna give you that much amount of money that you are asking, but I'm gonna give you little bit portion regarding about that. That's it. Okay, when you say some sort of thing, you are being really safe regarding about the stuff that you wanted to kind of like some money that you wanted to give you also respect that particular person, but still you also understand that you are constrained too. So whatever, so it is what it is. So if I'm kind of like a somebody earn, and probably is this thing na ki $1 million or maybe $1 billion is probably is this thing that ki I understand that ki in my entire period of lifetime I might gonna earn so much amount of money. Okay, yeah, it's not really that ki I'm not really earn, I will gonna earn. Okay, that is for sure. Okay, yeah, but I kind of like simply understand what is exactly that money is for, and how do I supposed to kind of like utilize that money to kind of like a simply much better way as possible as it can. Okay, yeah. So basically, will I be able to afraid? Um, Afraid, yeah. Like you are a kind of like a sudden wealth increase. Well, first of all, yeah, I might gonna little bit afraid. Yeah, like it's not really that I'm not gonna afraid. I might gonna feel little bit of afraid, because still it's a too much amount of money. But I think that na ki obviously I'm not really earning that much amount of money by luck. I'm actually earning money by effort that I'm putting every single day. So probably I might have little bit kind of like afraid, but something really good for that too. Okay, yeah. So yeah, all right, so this is it. This is my thought process regarding about that key, what if sudden amount of money is actually rises and what we're supposed to do. All right, so this is it, and thank you.